Hello, 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 and welcome to Carrion Comfort Studios. It's Sunday night, it's the 25th, so you know what that means. It's the premiere episode of Iron City by Night, a Vampire the Masquerade V5 Chronicle set in Birmingham, Alabama. Before we get started, I want to go over some things, do a little bit of some announcements. I know this is not what you all came here for, but it's good to do some house cleaning before we get into the mess that's about to be made. Just to break it down, I'd like to thank all of you for watching and following and doing all that stuff. I see you. I appreciate you. I know the cast appreciates you as well. Um, just a heads up. This show is going to be on a bi-weekly schedule. So it's going to be alternating. So there's not going to be an episode next week, but the week after that there will be an episode. I feel like that's better for everybody involved. But next week, November 1st, or next weekend, November 1st, Sunday, at the same time, there will be the second episode of Carrion Crash Course. Storytelling and Horror Without Borders. I will be moderating and hosting a panel of very, very excellent people that are much smarter than I am to talk about that topic, including Cynthia Marie from LA by Night, DJ Toreador from the soon-to-be Montgomery by Night, as well as just a very good friend. Then Gabriel de Los Angeles, a very well-educated and excellent LARPer and educator. And Shane Easton, also from LA by Night, Denver by Night, a bunch of other different things, writer, producer, director, everything. So that'll be exciting. Please stay tuned for that, and there will be announcements here soon. On top of that, I would like to say thank you to not only Gehenna Gaming, ATL by Night, but also the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute for helping me with doing a lot of the research that I had to do for collecting some of the history of Birmingham for this. I'd like to thank Nobleman Nick, who is in the chat, for helping spruce up the overlay and doing a credit sequence that you'll see after I get done talking. I'd like to thank Danny Schmidt, also known as Seditious Materials, for doing the fantastic artwork that you see behind me. Soon I'll have it actually hanging in a frame behind me, but for now this will have to do. But they are a phenomenal artist, and you should go check out their website, as well as a close personal friend of mine, Josie Kilcullen, for doing the character artwork for the Coterie. They came in clutch at a time when I was like, oh no, everybody's commissions are closed. Who do I go to? And I was lucky to be able to commission them. And finally, I would like to thank you all for taking the time this evening to watch our little vampire story. I want to let it be known that this game is set in the World of Darkness, and for those who do not know what the World of Darkness is, it is a world that mirrors our own, much like every city you see in a David Fincher movie, or dark TV series, or teen supernatural romance drama series on CW, but it's where vampires, werewolves, ghosts, ghouls, goblins, demons, changeling, and even mages are real. That being the case, this show does deal with mature themes, including potentially graphic images, adult themes, language, stressful situations, everything under the sun. There will be mods in the chat. If anything comes up that's particularly stressful, then they will have a content warning for you all. It's very important that we preface that, because it's important for you to take care of yourself before viewing this show. The show will be available, if you can't stick around for the entire time, it will be available over on our YouTube. You can bring up the link with the command !YouTube, and it will be available on Wednesday at noon. So check it out there. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I think for now that's it. So before I introduce this fantastic cast that you do not see at this moment, but you will, I'm going to go ahead and bring up this opening credits, which is very, very cool. I've never had something like this before. And we will we'll get started. So without further ado, behalf of the cast of Iron City by Night and myself, let us prepare to tell a vampire story. It's nice to have you in Birmingham. It's the slogan of the Iron City, or the Magic City to many. It's a city filled to the brim with culture, art, history, and charm, an ever-growing metropolis that was molded and built upon the backs of manual laborers who toiled in iron and steel mills, giving their all just to scrape by and provide a semblance of living for their families in the Deep South. It has been a battleground between the forces of tyranny and bigotry, and the forces of justice and equality as one of the many hotbeds and focal points of the civil rights movement. It's seen those battle lines drawn more than a few times. Now, the city has grown. It's a beacon of culture and cuisine in Alabama, a veritable oasis in a vast desert of hate and ignorance that many believe the South to be. Many artists and forward thinkers call Birmingham home and proudly wave the banner of its progress. The city sports the iconic slogan, "It's nice to have you in Birmingham," on bumper stickers and as photo opportunities on the side of buildings. Many would think this is a picturesque place to live. But beneath the slowly unraveling facade, there lives a city that deals with political corruption, homelessness, an ever-rising drug problem, and gentrification. If you look even deeper beneath the mayor with a false smile and crocodile tears, beneath the rainbow light bridges of 20th Street where the downtrodden sleep at night, you'll find something dark and sinister. Kindred, commonly known as vampires, wander the streets, unliving, hunting, trying to find purpose in this city that is constantly trying to outrun its history. This is where we start our chronicle. On a rainy Halloween night, people try to make what merriment they can with what is at their disposal. We see a group of people, dressed head to toe in costumes, making their way to 5 Points South, in hope of making this Samhain one to remember. Each of them wearing a variety of different costumes. They're chatting about plans to go to Liner, the popular goth dance club that has sprung up in the past 5 years in 5 Points South, adding a much-needed adrenaline shot to the nightlife in that part of town. One of them stops, realizes, "Oh shit, I don't have my ID. Hey, guys, can we go back to the car?" The rest of them give him a gesturing, jeering. He goes, "All right, okay, I'll just be right back. I'll take a shortcut or something." He walks quickly. His Dracula costume, whatever you could call that, a Bela Lugosi copy, with the cape flapping in the night wind and the rain soaking in his very terribly put upon makeup. He's rushing back to the parking deck where they got this car. He takes a left down an alleyway, knowing that it could bring him right to the rear of it. He stops, realizes his shoe's untied. He bends down to tie it. You see a shadow drop behind him, move out of frame. He looks behind his shoulder, not seeing anything, relaxes, mutters under his breath, "Fucking Halloween." And then he looks up, and he sees standing in front of him a man wearing a jogger's outfit, some sweatpants, cut-off shirt. Why is he wearing a cut-off shirt? It's late October. It's kind of chilly and it's raining. Headphones, you can hear some kind of electronic music playing over it. The man looks at him and goes, "Seems like you're a bit lost." The man in the costume stands up quickly and goes, No, I'm just trying to get to my car. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your run." He goes, No. You didn't interrupt anything. You've actually added to it." He smiles. Sinister grin, revealing a set of sharp fangs. He starts making his way closer to the man in the Dracula costume, till a high, piercing whistle breaks the tension of the moment. Both men in the alleyway look up over towards a fire escape in the alley, and they see a man wearing a hooded sweatshirt, a jacket of some kind. You blink and then he's gone. And he's in the alleyway. Blink again and he's closer. The man in the jogging outfit goes, "Oh, fuck." And in that moment, there's a sharp crack. A stab. And then he goes silent. The man in the Dracula costume screams. The man in the hood, without revealing his eyes, just holds up one finger to him and drags the body of the jogging man down the alleyway. Camera pans up, make our way through the streets, over the Dracula costumed man's friends, going up the hill towards the iconic 5 Point South, over the fabled fountain that has the could be a demonic statue in the middle of it, or maybe it's just a goat man telling tales to animals. Up further up the street, past Dave's Pub, Black Market Bar and Grill. On the corner of 20th and 12th, there are searchlights piercing the sky. There is what one could only describe as dark trance rave music, muffled, bass booming in the background. A obelisk-like building, black windows tinted, stands menacingly against the skyline with a line that's wrapped around the corner. There's men in suits checking IDs, collecting fees for entry, and there's another line off to the side where extravagantly dressed costume partygoers hand over a leather-embossed invitation for the Samhain Masquerade of Liner. Its sign over the door, stark red, directly opposed to the facade of the building. There, we see one olive-skinned man wearing a leather jacket, 2 red stripes going down the left side. He's pushed down the kickstand of his motorcycle, leaned it down, making sure that there's no cars around or anything else. Looks around, scans the crowd. Aaron, you arrived at your destination. You notice that that's an awfully long line, and you don't seem to have one of those fancy leather embossed invitations in your hands. What are you doing?
Don't. I'm gonna glance down the alley that I parked in. You know, staff entrance.
Yeah, you see one.
Okay.
It's further down the side. It's kind of covered by dumpsters. And you notice that there is a lone worker, probably works as a bar back or something, smoking something that is definitely not tobacco. Kind of looking around, making sure nobody notices him.
Just gonna stroll up, walk up to him. Hey man, you got a light? No.
He kind of like jumps a little bit and he goes, "Shit. Yeah, man. Sorry. God, do you like sneak up on everybody in alleyways?"
You know, if you need. Sorry.
He hands over a plastic lighter.
Okay, I'll pretend to light a cigarette, and I'll be. Is the door propped open or is it shut?
There is, much like you shouldn't have at any establishment, there is a brick that is propping open the door. You notice that it's a fire door.
Yeah.
But, it seems like the alarm has been cut from it. It's not
Perfect.
up to code.
I'm just going to, when I go to hand him the lighter back, I'm going to just use cloud memory on him and walk through the door.
Here we go. Okay, so, yep, he's unsuspecting. So cloud memory just works.
Yeah.
He kind of gets a dazed look in his eye. The spliff that he's got in his hands just kind of sitting, burning towards the end of the filter. And he's just kind of staring down the hallway, and he's kind of mumbling to himself. And you take your cigarette, you pat him on the shoulder, and you just walk right in.
Walk right in and put the brick back where it was.
As soon as you open up the door, you are assaulted by the sounds of the bass beats immediately. You can feel it in your chest, almost like a replacement heartbeat for a heart that no longer works for you. We cut to across the street, standing in the shadows. Hooded sweatshirt. Dressed for the occasion, I hope. Madelyn.
Yes.
You notice the line wrapped around the corner? Of course, it is the biggest Halloween event of the evening.
Of course.
And you notice that there is a far shorter line where people are handing over invitations, being waved on in. What do you do?
Did I receive one of these invitations?
Of course you did. It would be remiss of the prince to not extend an invitation to one of the most highly esteemed Nosferatu of the Iron City.
Then I am going to make my rouse check to throw up Mask of 1,000 Faces.
Excellent. Go ahead and give me that roll, please.
I succeed.
Excellent. You've done this 1,000 times, maybe more. You bring up a very non-assuming visage of a average, probably amber-haired girl. Doesn't stick out too much.
Just a sexy bunny girl for the evening.
That's right.
And I'm going to make my way on in and pass over my invitation.
You walk up to the line. There are a couple of well-dressed, suited men, earpieces in their ear. You've seen the movies. You know how they look. One of them's wearing sunglasses. Doesn't he know he looks like a complete idiot? It's 11 p.m. at night. You hand over the invitation. He takes one look at it, and he puts it with a stack of some others. Says, "Welcome. Enjoy yourself." And he steps out of the way.
I certainly will.
Makes his way for you. You walk in, and Liner is one of those places where it's all about experience. It's ambiance. It's atmosphere. As soon as you walk into the entrance hall of this nightclub, you do not see the dance floor. You don't hear anything else. You just hear that muffled and resonating all around you. And you see candelabras on sconces lining the wall, red candles dripping with wax. It's got to be a fire hazard, but nobody's going to dare try to shut down this place. It generates too much revenue for the city. You
Tacky as hell.
Tacky as hell. Whoever owns this building has a flair for the dramatics, it would seem. A purple carpet leads you up to some stairs where there is a coat check. A not very attentive woman behind it, covered in tattoos, some piercings, electric blue hair, is tapping away at her phone. She pops some gum, looks up, and goes, "Need coat check?"
Do I look like I'm wearing a fucking coat?
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
You make your way. There are two gentlemen, both wearing Mandarin cut style suits. The collars going up high to their necks, almost like they don't have a neck at all. They do a gentle nod as if to bow, and they grip the hands of a plush purple door with just obnoxiously golden knobs on them. They open it for you, and more so than how Aaron was assaulted, you were hit instantly by lights flashing. You notice cages up in the corners around the main dance floor of people dancing in them. There's bars at the back of the room, also to your right side, where you can see people standing idly by waiting for the bartenders to get them their drinks. People wearing garishly outrageous costumes all the way to very simple costumes. And the noise of what is probably some sort of Aphex Twin remix happening. People dancing and colliding with each other in a very, very sultry manner on the dance floor. You see on the stage there is a DJ booth with large screens behind it giving displays of different various Halloween horror films of classics. You see Michael, Jason, all of them flashing across the stream. And you see 4 men, each in what could only, I guess, best be described as the skeleton costumes from the Karate Kid, including one of them with the iconic red bandana of one Billy Zabka. They seem to be wearing skull masks, though. You can't really tell their faces. You know this is Blueprint, along with Kraken, one of their esteemed guests that plays along with them, does his own shows. They're the keepers of Elysium. And with tonight being Halloween, it's the perfect night for Elysium. We cut back. Outside. Books.
Yes.
You live quite close to Liner. You're used to the sounds pervading through, if you have a night in, which is not often, carrying all throughout downtown Birmingham, especially your nearby apartment. You're dressed, I'm assuming, in your normal attire, unless you've decided to wear a costume for this event.
I'm just wearing normal t-shirt and shorts.
Perfect. Just perfectly
Sneakers.
unassuming. Sneakers. Yep. You're walking down the street from your apartment, crossing by Dave's pub. The leather invitation in your hands, you can feel the weight of it. More so than probably anybody else that was carrying it. You're not used to these sort of events, but this is a very important event for you. You're probably going to get some answers tonight. You hear somebody from the patio of Dave's go, "Books! Hey, Books!" You turn.
I look over.
You see, it could be, is it Alex or Christian, or you can't tell. It's one of the multitude of people that hang out after dark. They're in the service industry, but they work behind the scenes. They seem familiar, but they all kind of blend in together. He goes, "Hey, are you coming in? It's Halloween tonight, man. You know they got the foosball table in the back and everything. We got karaoke happening in an hour."
Maybe later. I'm gonna go check out something, but I might be by a little bit later. How long are you gonna be out here?
Oh shit, I'll probably hit up Marty's later or something, and probably stumble my drunk ass home afterwards. I'll be out late.
Okay, I'll probably see you.
All right, I'll catch you later, man. Roll Tide. Catches to the side, walks over, gets with a group of his buddies. You make your way back towards your desired destination. You see it, Liner, familiar as always. Crowd of folks wrapped around the block. And you notice none of them are holding invitations. They've got their wallets out ready to hand over their ID or try to convince their way to get in without paying cover. It's normal Birmingham nightlife stuff. You do see a much smaller line with a velvet purple rope blocking access for the most exclusive clientele on this very important night. You look at the invitation in your hands, and it does say VIP access. No cover necessary. What do you do?
How many people are in the smaller line?
It's if there's people waiting, it's about 3 to 4. The security are very efficient on just they're not even checking IDs or anything. They are just taking the VIP invitation. They look up and down at a person and wave them on in.
I want to I've just over the past few weeks I've realized that I could do certain things, and I want to try to sense the beast.
Ooh.
In particularly for the people in this line.
All right. So, let's see here. Okay, got it right here. Go ahead and give me... I don't believe that is a rouse check. Let me double check here real quick, just to make sure. It's important to keep your books by you folks. Boom.
I believe that it's free.
Yes, it is free. Yeah, so go ahead and just give me a resolve and animalism check for me, please.
Am I at hunger 0?
You were at... Oh, we forgot to do the most important thing. Oh my goodness. Everybody in the coterie, can you please give me a hunger check real quick? I knew I was going to forget something.
I succeed.
Succeed. Aaron? I'm a little bit hungrier. So yeah, you're just at 1 hunger right now. Everybody's at 1 hunger, except for Aaron, who's at 2 hunger.
Okay, so that was... What was that roll again? Sorry.
That was going to be here. Resolve
resolve animalism.
Animalism. Yep.
Okay. Is 4 successes.
4 successes. Very, very good.
Does it matter if one of them is red?
Only if you have a critical success.
No, okay.
All right, perfect. Yeah, so you scan over the crowd, kind of giving a general feeling. It's a lot of anxiety in the air, a lot of sense of longing, need, horniness. There's some anger coming from one of the suited fellows that is having to deal with the general population and not the VIP line. Very tense. And you can feel off the shorter line somebody that's nervous.
Okay. How many people did you say again?
There's about 3 to 4. You can't kind of tell, including with like Halloween costumes. Some of them are pretty garish and outrageous, as opposed to the general population line, which is your basic night out in Birmingham costume, stuff that's more function over fashion.
Well, I will, for the moment, just stand in line and try not to draw attention to myself.
Perfect. You go stand over in line, just trying to be unassuming. Speaking of unassuming, Altair. You're standing across the street. It's a cold night, little rainy. You've got this feeling in your chest. Even though you're not quite alive anymore, you still get those tugs, those pits in your stomach where you're like, I don't know about this. You're having one of those feelings right now as you look at this 3-story building with music coming off of it, Halloween decorations that seem more, not really spooky, but kind of just necessary. Like, it's the time of the year, let's put up some pumpkins out front. And that long line of people, there's quite a few people in that general line.
Hate that.
You think about what your sire said to you earlier as you feel in your pocket that leather embossed invitation kind of sticking out against your leg. It feels warm almost.
Big sigh. Unnecessary sigh, of course, but
Mhm.
he will kind of touch his pocket as if to make sure, like, yes, he can feel it, but all right, it's still there. Does he see the smaller line, the shorter line?
Yeah, after a little bit, you see almost as if it's like a sign that's your line. You see a very like outrageously dressed in like Elizabethan style era gown. And immediately contrasted to that, you see a gentleman with tied back locks, shorts, t-shirt, and some sneakers standing right behind her. You're like, oh, that's probably the kindred line.
Great. Well, it's got less people in it, so I'd prefer to go into that one anyway.
Exactly.
I think he does his best to look like he's not there without actually using any disciplines and makes his way, kind of keeping his eyes down, not really making eye contact with anyone. To stand in that line. Sorry,
Yeah.
probably should have added that.
No, I got what you meant. You go and you kind of make yourself as small as possible, kind of burying yourself in the sweater that you're wearing. That safe haven of sorts that you can carry with you anywhere. Books. You feel a presence behind you that is not one of intimidation, but one of, oh God, please don't notice me. Please don't notice me at all. I don't want anybody to look at me. But it's kind of overwhelming. Like you've met those people in your lifetime where you're like, you're trying too hard to not be noticed and you're sticking out. And you kind of feel that oppressive kind of energy behind you as the beast kind of roils in the back of your neck and goes, ooh, one of you.
You said behind me?
Yeah, behind you.
I want to try to just like glance. Like it probably would be hard to not be noticed looking, but I want to quickly just take a look.
You take a quick glance over your shoulder, and you see a best way to describe a mousy, slender gentleman with shaggy black hair, wearing a collared shirt with a sweater that could probably bury him if it was not being supported by some almost cartoon-esque quivering shoulders. Altair, you being ever present of people staring at you at all the time, you notice that the gentleman in front of you kind of does a quick glance over the shoulder. Books, you notice the gentleman behind you make a quick kind of look and then like course correct a little bit. Like I've been found out. Oh.
I look for a second and then I tilt my head and then turn back.
The interaction wasn't too bad, Altair.
Yeah, it's because he didn't say anything.
The line moves along quickly. You both have your invitations pulled aside. Books, when you get to the line, the gentleman in the suit asks for your invitation. You hand it over. He looks at it. He looks at you and goes, "What are you supposed to be?"
Oh, you mean like a costume?
Yeah.
Was that I didn't realize that was a thing. My bad.
I'm just busting your balls, man. Go ahead. And he moves the invitation
cool.
aside.
And I just quickly walk in.
Okay, Altair. Moment of truth. You ready?
I'm gonna have to be.
You hear like a voice in the back of your head, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. You can run away right now. You can just turn right away. You can go back home. You can be there with your books in your comfy chair, everything like that. And then you hear also in the back of your head the voice of Aster going, I just can't be around those exhaustingly depressive kindred. It would mean so much to me if you could, Altair. And then you just hear the, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it.
I think there's a moment of between when, like, Altair would have been expected to step up after Books left, and when he does leave. Like, it's a very long moment, and honestly, the bouncer is probably like staring at him like, what are you doing, you fool? Before he's finally like takes a deep breath and like steps forward and like hands over his invitation. And he's like not even looking at the bouncer as he does it.
The bouncer gently takes the invitation, kind of wary a little bit. You having a nice night?
Oh, yeah, it's a great night. Thanks.
You on something, pal?
Drugs? No. No.
It wouldn't be a problem if you were. I was, just want to double check. Enjoy yourself.
Thanks. Then, like, as soon as possible, he, like, leaves. He does not hang around.
Books, Altair, you both make your way down that same hall, some distance apart from each other. You both notice the coat check girl, without even looking up from her phone now at this point. She's like, coat check?
Sounds good.
Enjoy yourself. And the doors open up for you. Altair, you're almost kind of like laser focused on making your way inside. And the coat check girl kind of surprises you with a coat check.
I think he doesn't even respond and just walks right by.
You just walk on by. You just hear,
Yep.
Enjoy yourself, as you both make your way inside. Now that we have all four of you inside the building, let me take some moment to describe the scene that is before you. Aaron, you're seeing it from a different perspective. I imagine you are in a galley way almost, of where if there was a kitchen being here, you would see waiters and everything going back and forth between it. But no, it's mostly just people making out back here. Just not really paying attention. Some people using stuff.
Yeah.
Deals being made. You can see in the swinging door, the circle window, as well as the other three of you kind of fully in the atmosphere. The oppressive nature of so many bodies in one room, enjoying the night. There's sweat. There's makeup smell. There's that maple syrupy smell of a smoke machine someplace. The music is ringing in your ears. You can hear people saying things, including, especially you, Books. You hear the odd, no, it's tomorrow night. No, tomorrow. No. Yeah, no, I'm pre-med. Definitely pre-med. Oh man, this place is great. All that stuff. But the most important sense that comes over all of those is that almost whenever you're around a large group of people, it's overwhelming. And for each of you, the beast kind of roils up inside of you and kind of gets excited, almost giggles with glee, as you can smell that sweet, delicious vitae. So many different types. It's like a Chinese buffet off of Highway 65. So many different flavors available to you, all under one roof. Takes a little bit to kind of stomach down. I'm not going to make you roll a willpower check just yet. You knew to prepare for this. And you look up, because it's hard not to. the lights kind of lead up, and you see the second floor where there are people leaning over the banisters, talking to each other, kissing, enjoying the scene that's before them. And one more floor up to the VIP section, the third floor, where there is a wrought iron banister that's been wrapped in purple velvet cloth with a banner hanging from it that says Liner, the South's premier goth dance club. And standing right above that, give me a wits and awareness check, each of you.
That's one success for me.
One success for you, Books. For Altair and Books, you've kind of made your way through the crowd and everything like that. You notice there's a gentleman standing, and holy shit, is that Gary Oldman? But it's not like normal Gary Oldman. I don't think anybody's ever seen normal Gary Oldman. I don't think even Gary Oldman has seen normal Gary Oldman in quite some time. But it's very clearly in a gray top hat, three-piece extravagant Victorian suit with a rolling curls. The Bram Stoker's Dracula, Gary Oldman, with the cane and the sunglasses, just looking down, very pleased with the scene before him. There also seems to be somebody that's trying to get his attention, but he's having none of it. Aaron, you notice that that's definitely looks like Gary Oldman, but it's definitely somebody in a costume. They've done really good like makeup work, but like it's almost spot on. Madelyn, you've seen him a million times before.
Yeah.
This is what he does, especially on Halloween. He picks something and he just contributes too much to it. That's Prince Alexander Silverson, Malkavian Prince of Birmingham, and a known lover of not only stagecraft, but cinema and television. And a lover of Halloween.
Cosplayer at his age.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's a very, very convincing Gary Oldman Dracula costume. A touch gauche, though? It's like, come on.
Always.
Yeah. So, you have a whole nightclub before all four of you. I'm going to give you a little bit of a moment to kind of feel it out, see if there's anything you want to do. I've been talking for a long time. I think it's time to hand over the reins to each of you.
I'm actually going to approach the prince.
You make your way towards the stairwell. You know it well. It's the Liner stairs, and they're in the back left corner. They're in the corner, but it's like a grand staircase. There's one that goes up, and there's two on the other side. And as it goes up to the second level, then it turns into a more industrial kind of staircase. There's a lot of conflicting sub-goth genres happening in this building. You don't know if it's like aristocratic goth, there's industrial goth, there's might even be a little bit of a mall goth thing happening in the bathroom. But you make your way up the steps. Second floor, much like the first, there's a crowd of people all around, but there's tables and booths up here for people that want to have quiet, intimate moments away from the dance floor. And then you see the spiral iron wrought steps that lead up to the VIP section. There is a man in a turtleneck sweater with a purple, like dark purple, like double-breasted jacket, slacks, nice loafers with some kind of design on them. He's got a pin that is of a broken mirror on his lapel. He's got a shaved head, and he has painted on him, seems hastily, like a skull kind of face paint kind of ideal to kind of be in the festive mood. You know that this is Gus. This is one of the personal bodyguards of the prince, and he's standing with a velvet rope in front of the spiral staircase, and he's just constantly scanning the crowd.
As I approach, I'm going to drop Mask of 1,000 Faces so that he can see that it's me. And I am wearing my old UAB Chargers cheerleading outfit. Still crisp, of course. And just, Gus, darling.
Miss Brooks.
You look wonderful tonight.
Thank you. I could say the same for you.
Oh, aren't you so cute?
His deep voice barely registering over the crowd noise. His eye is not on you, but constantly scanning the crowd.
I'm familiar. Would you mind letting me tell the prince just how much I adore his outfit tonight?
He looks around and he goes, I was supposed to wait to come get you, but I guess this
It's just little old me.
I suppose it can't do any damage. Just, don't draw too much attention to him.
Oh, no, of course not.
He unhooks the rope, steps aside for you.
I'm going to walk in and just very casually, so it's not too obvious who I'm walking directly towards, and just walk and stand close enough to the prince where he can hear me. Just, Prince Silverson, you look absolutely dashing tonight.
The prince is talking to a man about 5'8", dark skin and a sharp contrast with the Jack Skellington makeup he has on his face and the pinstripe suit. And the man is sitting there and gesticulating wildly with his hands. And he goes, I don't think you understand how important it is. And you hear in a much better impersonation than I could ever do of Gary Oldman from Dracula go, Gregory, you worry too much. Tonight is a night for merriment, for ones to enjoy themselves. We shall not worry about this tombstone. Now please, go find the rest of your peers. The time comes near. Madam Brooks, you grace me with your presence.
Oh, you grace this city with yours, my prince. And I'm going to give him a very deep bow.
He takes his top hat and in a sweeping gesture brings it down, holds up his
Make Bell
hand,
blush.
grabs your hand and kisses it.
Oh, always the gentleman.
How could I not be in such a splendid rose?
Oh, you're fantastic. Was this man bothering you?
Oh, Gregory, no, he was just speaking of personal business. The man turns to you, and you notice at once that it is the seneschal and representative of the House of the Pine here, Tremere Gregory Reuters, who is well known amongst the kindred community here in Birmingham as a man that once tried to assassinate the prince and failed, and the prince made him seneschal because he thought that he was acting. Gregory looks at you.
I don't trust him one fucking bit. Good evening, Gregory. Sorry, it was hard to tell it was you with all these lights.
Well, it is a masquerade, Miss Brooks.
Oh, a pun. I love that. You're capable of humor, Gregory. I didn't know that.
I have my moments. If you'll excuse me, I have some business to attend to.
I bet you do.
Say, Miss Brooks,
Hmm.
that's a wonderful costume you're wearing. Might I suggest you sign up for the costume contest?
Oh, darling, never. Might I suggest you come by Sloss Furnaces sometime? I can give you a little tour.
A tour from one Madelyn Brooks around Sloss Furnace? How could I say no?
And yet you probably will, won't you?
Busy is as busy does. Miss Brooks, Prince. And he turns sharply on his heel and makes his way through the crowd.
Well, now that that's done, I just wanted to tell you that you really outdone yourself this year. You know that?
Why, Madam Brooks, I do not know what you mean. I just
You're
merely put something
image,
together.
darling. You know that.
Oh, you do bring a flutter to this old kindred's heart.
Oh. Well, I think I'm gonna go see what libations are around here. Thank you so much for organizing tonight, and thank you for inviting me.
Of course.
All right, toodles. I'm gonna
Toodles.
bow and walk off.
All right. Aaron.
Yes. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is probably palm the wallet of someone in that gallery that I'm passing through. Someone distracted, making out with someone else.
Go ahead and give me a dexterity and larceny check, please.
Do that.
Four. Excellent. There's a gentleman that is doing the normal hand on the wall, talking to somebody. Another gentleman that seems to, as opposed to how most people would react to that kind of stance, seems to be very much into it. They're both locking eyes. They're talking about something probably meaningless. Maybe whatever HBO show's on or something about that or another. And, man, these wallet checkbook combos have really got to go. They're really not that secure when you have them in your back pocket. And you just walk on by, grab it, pick it up.
I pull one of the cards out
Okay.
and all of the cash, and then I drop it in the nearest trash can.
There's one right down the hallway from another. Ooh, American Express. Very
beautiful.
nice. Gather about $60 in cash as well.
That's fine. I pocket that with whatever other cash is in my front pocket. And then I walk up to the bar and I open a tab.
There are people kind of all around you. People, when they're in bars like this, especially when they have a lot of drink, they're not very present of like everybody else's bubble. So they kind of bounce around in between you, but it's still a bit early. It's only about 11:30-ish around that bit. There's about 4 bartenders on the main bar, and they are working their asses off trying to get everything. One gentleman comes up beside you. He's wearing a button-up shirt, purple tie, vest, and he is setting down 3 Bud Lights, and he pops the tops off of each of them, slides them to a group of what are probably sorority girls, and looks at you and goes, "What can I get you, bub?"
Jim Beam.
Neat. Goes real quick, and he just grabs a bottle, pours it really quick, sets it down, gets about 2 fingers, sets it in front of you, and then goes, "You want to open a tab?"
Yep, I hand him the card that I just stole.
Takes the Amex. He doesn't even question it. Looks at it, swipes it. He goes, "I'm going to hold on to that just in case, all right?" He goes ahead and he puts it, closes it.
Take the drink and I make my way through the crowd. Eventually, I'm going to just set that down and grab someone's empty glass.
Perfect. I'm not even going to make you roll for it. There's a lot of people in this room. And you go ahead and you just swap it out. You see somebody that had just taken a sip of theirs and set it down on a table, and seamlessly you just swap it out. They're going to have a very good time. That's one less drink they got to buy. How generous of you. And you now have an empty glass in your hand.
I do. Looks like I drank it. And I'm just going to make my way to one of the walls and observe people moving about, get a better lay of the land from actually on the floor, see what's going on, who's moving up and down to that VIP area.
Give me a wits and awareness, would you?
Okay.
Is there anything you're looking for specifically?
Pinpointing kindred, primarily.
I see. I see.
That'll be 2. Yep.
2. All right. It's you've been at this for a while, Aaron. You're looking around, and there's a lot of college kids here tonight. They should really do better about, keeping out troublemakers and stuff. You notice there's some mortals, there's some older folks here. People are just enjoying their evening. And dotted one every 10 to 20 people, you notice milling throughout the crowd, just kind of almost like sniffing by each person they come by. Various kindred of different dress, different costumes. Particularly, you see a man in a very, very convincing Freddy Krueger costume. Almost like that makeup isn't makeup. And he goes by, and you see him take the gloved hand with the hopefully plastic knives, goes and pokes somebody randomly and just kind of fades. And somebody kind of jumps and looks around. They go, what the fuck? You also notice somebody that's trying to stand, not out, but very much be avoided, kind of over in a corner, wearing a sweater, shaggy black hair, just eyeing the crowd, just looking like a rat in a trap almost. Definitely kindred.
Oh, babies.
And then you see a gentleman, dark skin, wearing a t-shirt and shorts and sneakers with his locks tied back, actively scanning the crowd, but not looking like a kindred on the prowl, but definitely looking for something or somebody. If you weren't paying attention, you probably would have not even clocked him as kindred.
I make notes just of the people I see, and then obviously I'm gonna pay more attention to the upper floors, get a sense of who's going up and down. I've probably can guess as to our Gary Oldman lookalike, but
yes, you could. Doesn't take a lot of time. You realize that the DJs it seems like their set's starting to wind down a little bit. You can just kind of the natural progression of a DJ set. You can also see on the stage there's a band waiting to go on. They're definitely kindred. They move like kindred, and they're manipulating turntables like kindred would. You notice somebody who's very much in the public eye, but definitely doesn't broadcast that they're kindred, but they're kind of like a kindred mortal relations almost, just because you've seen before from papers around nearby, just in nearby areas before you even came into town. Jada Velasco, who is you would assume probably a primogen, for them to be that out and about in the public eye, but also still be walking as kindred. Dressed in best I could describe it as Phantom Left Eye Lopez from TLC.
okay.
Very, very, very good, top-notch costume, though. And she seems to be talking to somebody that's dressed in a Nick Saban costume, and they're walking up the steps towards the second floor.
All right. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to watch things unfold for a bit.
Perfect. Books. Before you give me what you're going to do next, can you please give me a wits and awareness?
One.
One.
Mhm.
Kind of scanning the crowd, trying to look for any sign of somebody familiar or anything like that. And your eyes lock with somebody that looks like her, who you came here to look for. Slender neck, dark skin, shaved head, wearing like a hood of some sorts, and has on some kind of like smock. And then you try to like focus on how to like find a way to get towards her, and then she's gone. And it was almost like a blink as you miss it, as if you could have been seeing something.
Where did I see it?
Dance floor, center.
Okay. Is that kind of like the main floors? Like,
Yeah, like the
dance
first
floor?
floor, the ground floor, the main like central hub is the dance floor, with
Mhm.
the stage off to, I would say, the west side of the room. The stairs are in the northwest corner, bathrooms in
Okay.
northeast. The main bar is on the east side of the room. And where you came from was the south.
And what I saw, she was just kind of in the midst of the crowd, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Almost like she was looking at you, looking for you, and then almost if this was a movie, somebody walked in front of her and she was gone.
Okay. Um, well, I'm basically I'm just going to keep looking around. I do want to go to the bar
Mm-hmm.
and I'll just say like, can I have a gin and tonic? And I I I probably have some cash on me. I'll just pay for it. I'll tip them like 100% and just hold the cup.
Small woman goes by really quickly, goes, gin and tonic, yeah, real quick. Do you want that well, or do you want that anything specific?
Just well's fine.
Perfect. Just goes, makes you a well gin and tonic real quick. Lime,
Sure.
puts a lime on the rim, hands it over to you, takes your cash, and then goes to hand you back your change. You say, no, keep the tip.
Keep it.
Looks and goes, oh shit, thanks. And then puts it like in like her vest right there, and she's gone immediately.
All right, yeah. I just grab the cup and just hold it. But I'm basically just looking around, like very actively scanning. Are there people that I know here? It seemed like there would be.
Definitely. And there's people that like they see you and they go, books, or people that like that pretty closely that come up to you, and they either look at you, nod, they're dancing, and they wave at you. One girl that's dressed like one of those, and it's probably obnoxious at this point. It's gonna be the new Minion costume. It's dressed like one of those Among Us spacemen, and just comes up and like is like just leans in your ear almost. Goes, "Do you remember me?"
Sure. What was your name again?
It's Julia. Julia.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, remember we
What's
talked.
up, Julia?
Oh, I'm just having a good time. I can't find my friends anywhere.
What was that?
I said I can't find my friends anywhere.
Oh, who are your friends?
Oh, like you saw them the other night. Like, there's Patrice, then there's Alexa, then there's Monica, and she's kind of like listing off some names.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you know if I see them. How about that?
Okay, they're dressed like me, but different color. Like the game. And
Yeah, I
she
get
does
it. That's
a,
really good.
Thank you. It's really fun.
I agree. I also think it's fun.
So did you come here alone? She's not getting the hint at all.
No, I'm actually about to go meet someone. But you'll be around, right? I'll let you know if I see your friends, and I'll buy you a shot later.
you see her go through the full stages of different emotional like recognition of like her crushing depression of you saying I'm meeting somebody, and then anger, and then it flips to exuberation as you say I'll catch you later, I might even buy you a shot. And then she goes, I guess if you want to, and then she playfully does the 2-finger walk thing over your chest, over the shoulder, and she walks past you.
I I just immediately just go back to scanning the crowd, see if I can find this woman.
You go back to scanning the crowd, looking for her, and you notice a gentleman in a purple suit and a black turtleneck with a gold chain walking towards you. He seems pretty big and burly. Altair, you're in your corner. Place, not a lot of people around. There is a couple that are making out nearby, but that's about the best that you could ask for.
Yep, and he's just doing his best to pretend like he doesn't notice, even though he totally does.
With your heightened kindred senses, even more so without adding to it at all, you're able to wash out the smacking noise with the music that's happening. It's probably not your type of music, but these DJs are pretty they know their stuff. They've got their finger on the pulse of the crowd, so to speak.
That's good. As long as they're not paying attention to me, and that's all that really matters.
No. They're very focused on what they do. They're consummate professionals.
Good. I think he is doing his best to be here. If he had his way, he would be gone already, but he knows that he came here for his sire, so he needs to be here, do whatever it is he has to do, be seen by the prince, and then he can leave. But he's not about to go bother anyone. I do think what he is going to do is kind of keep as best as he can from his corner, keep an eye out for other kindred, and I think he's going to use Scry the Soul to do that.
Whoo! Sorry, that's my discipline noise that I make because
Ooh,
I always get excited when somebody uses the let's do a discipline. So I'm gonna need you to make me a rouse check real quick.
Yes. Here we go.
In the back of your head, while you're trying to scry the soul, you hear just that whisper of the, oh, here we go. Look, you can just put it aside, all right? There's plenty of people over here. You might even take a nip of one of the couple over there. I mean, they wouldn't even notice. They wouldn't even notice at all. You could just go ahead and just take one little sip.
Nope.
And you succeed your rise check?
I did.
All right. Give me an intelligence plus aspects.
Sweet. Hunger 1. Let me count some dice. All right. Let's see. 5 successes.
5 successes. Ooh, okay, so I will have you, we're gonna do this, yeah, fuck it. You know what? I'm gonna let you ask 3 different targets in the crowd. I'm gonna list them off to you a little bit by little bit, and you can ask me 3 different questions that are in the book, or at that point here. So, let's see. There is a gentleman in a leather jacket with 2 red stripes along the side that seems to be mingling along the crowd. There's the DJs on stage. There's the guy that was in front of you of the line that is talking to some girl, well, being talked at by some girl that's wearing one of those annoying spaceman suits. You notice there's the prince himself on the balcony. There is a man wearing a hood and a jacket kind of standing in the left corner of the dance floor, not dancing, but just kind of standing amongst the people there. And then you see this Freddy Krueger guy lurking about.
All right, so first question. first guy in the leather jacket.
Perfect.
Is he a vampire, werewolf, ghoul, or other supernatural being?
It's a very, very faint aura. And you hear kind of like you're like somebody. It's like, that one's hard to read. That one's hard to read indeed. All signs point to kindred.
Ah, good. Okay. Same question, but to the guy who is kind of standing on the edge or the corner of the dance floor with the hood.
The web moves amongst the crowd. Threads pull. Focus on that one. And then you hear in your head a fire alarm go off. And you hear a, oh, shit. Yep. Definitely it. Definitely kindred.
Okay, I'm like, definitely what? Oh, God. Okay, great. And then I think the last one I'm going to do is the gentleman getting talked at. What is their emotional state?
Books, what is your emotional state right now?
Very anxious. I think that's probably the main thing. Just like antsy, anxious.
Anxious
Anxious.
and just antsy.
Okay, great. He is just gonna store those in his brain bank. And then I think he's just gonna keep an eye out for the prince. I think he kind of naturally kind of looks up.
Yep.
To the prince is above them, of course. And I assume that he knows what the prince normally looks like. But yeah, basically he's just waiting for whatever has to happen tonight to happen so that he can leave.
Yeah, you go ahead. The file cabinet opens in the old noggin and then closes. And you look up, and the Prince of Many Hats is not standing at the balcony anymore, but you could probably assume that he's still high above in his roost, sitting and waiting. And then you notice, oh no, oh God, oh no, walking towards you. You see a gentleman with a close-cropped haircut, short on the sides, slicked back, wearing a purple suit and a white turtleneck, big, bulky, walking towards you.
Oh God, act natural, act natural.
God, yeah, you kind of compose yourself. And the gentleman leans down close so he doesn't have to yell at you and goes, "Are you Aster?"
I think Altair kind of frowns. He says, just loud enough for this guy to hear. So he'll get over his own social anxiety and like continue to be like leaned in close to this guy and say, no, I'm not, but he sent me in his place.
The guy goes, "Emissary. Got it. What can I call you?"
Altair.
Altair. Got it. All right, can you come with me, please?
Who are you? Where are we going?
It's very important that you come with me right now, Altair.
Important too.
The guy sighs real quick and goes, "Are you really going to make me say it in front of all these people? Or are you just going to walk with me?"
He takes a moment and kind of like looks around. He shoots like the briefest glance at this couple that's making out next to him. Decides, And he just sighs. He says, "Fine, it's okay. Sure. Yeah, let's go."
Thank you. And he turns and he starts walking. Oh God, why is he walking through the crowd? He's going
Oh,
directly
God.
through the crowd, and they're kind of
Why?
parting for him. And now you're walking behind him, and you can't stop moving your feet. Oh, this is just the worst.
Oh.
Books. Actually, you know what? Madelyn. You're on the third floor. This salon of sorts, I guess you could call it. This VIP area. There's some notable kindred up here. Only the most important ones, of course.
Cool.
You see Hannah Clifton, who is the Nosferatu primogen, dressed like Sadako from The Ring.
Classy. Good choice.
Always willing to go above and beyond. You see over in the corner, having a very intimate conversation, Vic Bernhardt, dressed like a... They typically go for more muted costumes, but this year they've decided to go as a sexy Vulcan. For those at home that do not know what Vulcan is, here in Birmingham we have a giant statue of the Roman god Vulcan with a spear point and a hammer and an anvil, and he's everywhere. But Vic Bernhardt, the Toreador primogen, has seemed to decide to go with wearing nothing but gray body paint, a hammer, and an apron with their ass fully out.
And what color torch is he carrying?
It is a... Oh, it seems to be glowing multiple different colors. Kind of going...
Party Vulcan.
Yeah, Party Vulcan. This seems like it's Party Vulcan tonight. And they are having a conversation with their... I guess... To call them a ghoul would be underselling their relationship. But it's... Savannah Benson, a close confidant and friend, would also be underselling the relationship as well. Never leaves their side, never leaves Vic's side. Always everywhere. Also, one of the few ghouls that are allowed into Elysium and into council meetings. They do everything for Vic. And they seem to be wearing a like a toga ensemble that kind of fit with the whole Vulcan theme, but like they've got like a helmet on. It seems like they're going for a Athena kind of vibe. It's kind of mixing Roman and Greek, but you know, who's counting?
It's Halloween.
It's Halloween.
And do they look like they're having a spirited discussion?
Spirited. Romantic. They're really in the vibes of the whole thing. It must be something in the air that's really got them in the mood.
Gross.
They're always gross at every Elysium and council meeting.
I am going to scan the dance floor for any familiar faces.
You look through and you notice a cousin of sorts, dressed in a Freddy Krueger outfit. You know because it's him. It's Laszlo Khan, resident shithead and Nosferatu whip. He's dressed like Freddy Krueger, and you know it's him because he wouldn't stop fucking talking about it the whole month leading up to this. About how he's going as Freddy Krueger. It's going to be great. But he's moving through the crowd. He's kind of like popping in and out, and he's pranking people. You can't keep him away from fucking with people. And then
do I see the display of Altair being let out?
Just in that moment, you see somebody that you're not wholly familiar with, but you know that is there's a local Malkavian that really holds himself above everybody else, but he's really not that shit. You know, he thinks that his shit doesn't stink, but it's his child. It's Altair, you think.
Oh, precious baby.
And then you see one of the security for the prince go up to Altair and talk to him, and Altair looks frightened. You can see even from up here, frightened. And then you hear a familiar behind you.
I'm going to turn around.
And you see Gus behind you. Goes,
Hi, darling.
Miss Brooks, would you mind coming with me?
Are you finally making your advances at me? I'm proud of you.
Give me a wits insight, please.
Okay. I'm going to get myself in trouble. That is 2 successes.
Normally stoic, unflinching, a sentinel of the prince, never showing emotion, you see a small tick of a smile in the corner of his mouth. It's the most emotion you've seen out of Gus all year. And
Fantastic.
he goes, maybe, just maybe, but this is business this evening.
All right, business before pleasure then.
Thank you.
All right, lead on.
He turns, and you see him nod at some of the other Primogen, and they start kind of like gathering themselves, kind of rousing themselves, and he leads you through the VIP salon, through some double doors to what you know is like the hanging gardens of Liner. It's really just an outdoor VIP area. And there's some chairs, there's a fire pit in the middle, but it's definitely fake fire pit. There would never, ever, ever be real fire in a place like this. Goodness me. And you see there have been chairs arranged, and it seems like Elysium's being called a little bit early this evening.
Oh.
The business portion of it.
Well, busy bees as busy bees. Does it look like I'm expected to go take a seat?
Yes. Gus turns and looks at you and he goes, would you be so kind to go and stand over to the left there? And he gestures towards where there's a gentleman with a guitar, long hair, bandana, and he's just kind of playing some tunes and singing. It's not too bad, actually. It's kind of, he's got like a very kind of twangy, resonant voice that seems a little bit like Hank Williams Sr.
Okay.
But
we can give it up for Senior.
Yeah, you'll have to see how his yodeling is, but, we'll get to that in due time.
All right. I'm just going to give Gus a little bit of a wink and say, all right, but you owe me a dance later.
Gus goes, if it is your pleasure, Miss Brooks.
Oh, I love when you talk like that. All right.
And he
I'm
turns.
going to go sit down and just recline back in my seat.
Aaron, you're scanning the crowd, kind of mingling and everything like that.
Yep.
You see a gentleman being led, the very, very like meek gentleman being led by the baby. Yes, the baby is being led by a gentleman in a double-breasted purple suit. And then you see another gentleman, the one wearing shorts in a nightclub, being approached by another double-breasted gentleman. And then you can almost feel it to your right. You're like, as if it's serendipity. Your own double-breasted purple suit gentleman.
I turn and smile.
This one's got like long blonde hair that's kind of slicked back like Val Kilmer in Heat.
No.
This guy's definitely watched too many Michael Mann movies.
I'm biting my tongue.
Takes himself very seriously. And he's wearing like the tucked in t-shirt and like everything like that, chain. And he goes, excuse me, you mind coming with me for a minute?
And to what do I owe the pleasure?
You've been requested to meet the host for this evening.
I certainly, and I set the empty glass down and I follow.
You're making this easy for me. Pity. And he leads you to some stairs.
I'm gonna like you.
Books. Gentleman with the purple suit's coming right towards you. Seems determined. He's definitely looking at you.
Do they seem like aggressive?
No, business-like. He's wearing sunglasses. Another security guard wearing sunglasses. It's fucking almost midnight. Come on, man. And he's wearing it seems to be a tank top of sorts and a purple suit, and he's got a couple chains and dog tags around his neck, and he nods up at you. Excuse me. Are you enjoying the party?
Talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Yeah, it's cool.
Good. How would you like to enjoy the party in the VIP section?
Sure. Yeah, that sounds good. Is that a thing? Can I do that?
Yeah, definitely. Just come on. Come along. Yeah.
Just follow you?
Yeah, just follow me. Yeah, I'll lead you right up.
Okay.
You're wearing shorts and a t-shirt in a nightclub, but apparently VIP
I'm
is VIP.
gonna follow him, but I'm gonna stay like 5 steps behind. I'm not gonna like stand next to him or anything.
You make your way towards the
and still kind of looking around, but still trying to keep track of where he is.
Scanning, head on a swivel. Excellent. Any kind of signs?
Yeah.
You three kind of converge, Altair, Aaron, and Books, with your escorts on the stairs. They all kind of nod at each other, and they walk up the steps and lead you up to the 3rd floor. Books, when you're walking up and you get on the 2nd floor landing, and you can kind of see over the crowd, standing over by where you were just standing, you see another flash, a blink and you miss it moment of that woman with the shaved head. This time the hood's down, and she's staring right at you. And then somebody bumps into somebody carrying a tray of drinks. They get knocked over, they crash, and then she's gone. And then you hear the ooh that people always do at nightclubs and stuff when somebody drops drinks.
From where I'm at right now, do I still have a good view of the dance floor?
I would say so. And when you get up to the 3rd floor, even better view. Best view in the house.
Okay.
And you see people walking through a double set of doors. And you've got this feeling that you're like, oh, this pit in your stomach. You're like, this is the first time I've been around a group that you don't smell vitae, or blood, as you would call it. You wouldn't really know that it's called vitae. Mm-hmm. There's an absence of it on this floor. And then you get that sinking feeling, and the beast kind of roils up inside you and kind of feels trapped. That sense of an animal that's being cut off from an escape route kind of starts moving up in your gut. Altair, you feel the walls closing in. Aaron, you really wish this asshole would wear something other than Drakkar Noir. You're all led to this outside area. There's a fake fire and a pit in the middle. You see groups gathered, a group gathering in some chairs that seem very fanciful. You notice the Dracula cosplayer standing up in the middle, looking very pleased with himself with his cane and his gloves. There's a musician over by the musician you see somebody wearing a crisp cheerleader uniform. Definitely Nosferatu. Good head of hair, though. And there's a gentleman with a guitar, and the guy in the Nick Saban costume from before, you would know, Madelyn, is the Ventrue Primogen.
Of course.
Carson Collier. And he goes, hey. And the guy with the guitar stops playing, and he kind of nods. And he puts his guitar in his case, and
he was playing senior for me.
Mm-hmm. He goes, I'll be back around to play some more later.
All right, darling.
And he goes and makes his way out. And you notice that there's nobody else around except for you four. And these people sitting on this dais kind of stage. This Primogen Council out there, you would know Primogen Council. Books, you have no idea what the fuck is going on. You thought you were going to the VIP section. Aaron, this is not what you expected.
Howdy.
Oh, hey there.
And the Dracula, Gary Oldman, wraps the cane a little bit on the stage and goes, "Ah, the children of the night. What music they make." Gentlemen, Miss Brooks, how gracious we are for you to join us. Please, have a seat. And with that, we are going to go ahead and take a quick bio break. Gonna make it about 5 to 8 minutes, so everybody be sure to take a couple stretches, get some water going, grab a snack maybe, and we do very much appreciate all of you joining us this evening. We will be right back. And we're back from our break. I hope everyone took a bio break, took your meds, did a little bit of a stretch, all that good stuff. I just want to say, before we get back started into our chronicle, a very, very fervent thank you from the bottom of my heart to all of you that have subscribed and have followed and have done that and more. I appreciate you all for hanging out with us as well on this Sunday evening. I just want to say two quick things as well before we get into there. Every 50 followers, as a rule, I do a charity stream, whether it be 12 or 24 hours. If we hit 150 whenever, I'm going to be doing a 24-hour charity stream, contributing to a dear friend of the streams, practical son, I guess you could say, your big dad. A dear friend of his, Zeno, is trying to raise money for a top surgery. So I figured what better way to give back than to help contribute to that, because that can be very, very expensive, and nobody should have to be unable to pay for something like that. So I'm going to try to organize one of those once we hit 50 followers. So do keep that in mind as well. And also just thank you once again. Now, get back into it. Set the scene once again. The Prince, Silverson, Gary Oldman, had just made a comment that was very related to his costume. Good evening and welcome. He looks between the four of you and goes, now, before we have ourselves our Primogen Council meeting, completely dropping the Dracula impersonation, you're probably all wondering what you four are doing here this evening.
Not particularly.
Not really. I
apologies.
just figured you needed me, darling.
Yo, I think I might be in the wrong place. I came here to meet somebody, so I'm gonna.
Oh, you're new?
I'm gonna head back. I'm not sure what's going on here, but I don't think this is for me.
Oh, no. Please. Do stay. It's very important that you do. It'd be a shame for you to miss something as important as this. Is it Books? Is that your name? Am I saying that right? Or is it Justin?
Yeah, books.
Books. Clever nickname. Very clever indeed. And, of course, dear Madelyn, thank you once again. He takes off the gray top hat for a second and kind of knocks the curls of the wig back, takes off the sunglasses and goes, dreadful stuff, costuming sometimes, but we must suffer for our art dearly.
Of course.
Indeed.
Books, why don't you come sit right beside me? Pat the seat beside me.
He starts walking closer. You can see the council behind him kind of clocking each of his moves.
Mm-hmm.
I don't move.
He comes up close to Madelyn, looking her up and down, goes, Madelyn,
Yes, sir.
I'm sure you have a sneaking suspicion as to why you're here. Do not fret, my dear. All shall be clear very soon.
You know I trust you, dear.
He moves down the line a little bit and goes to Books and looks at you and goes, Dear sweet Books, you and I do not know each other, but we will know each other very well. So well, in fact, that you might be able to call me Prince. You do not know my name. Alexander Silverson, at your service. And he does a nod, a bow of sorts. Prince of Birmingham.
Prince of Birmingham?
Prince.
What does that even mean?
Oh, dear. He's a baby.
You hear a chorus of laughter from behind him from the Primogen
Oh,
Council.
Books, darling, come sit over here. I promise I only look like the boogeyman.
We'll talk about that soon.
I I go sit down.
Clad in leather, smelling like asphalt, beer and cigarettes. The road weary on his skin and his hair. Now, I do not know your name, but you're probably wondering why you're here.
I'm probably here because I crashed your party in order to introduce myself to you.
Yes. We expected you would show up here. We clocked you at that Shell station about 20 miles near the Jefferson County line.
Yeah,
You should
sounds about right.
really be careful about drinking from your Capri Suns from your saddlebag when you're outside of a gas station.
Oh my God, we're dealing with fresh meat here.
Maybe not quite as fresh as our young friends here, doll. I'm usually aware of where security cameras are. It was intentional.
Good. Wouldn't want anybody sneaking around these parts.
Not at all. No, I'm here at your service, sir.
He smiles at that. And he makes his way slowly down the line towards Altair, looking at you intently.
Altair is not making eye contact. He is staring directly at the ground in front of him.
I, but to die, and go we know not where, to lie in cold obstruction and to rot, the sensible warm motion to become a kneaded clod, and the delighted spirit. He moves closer to you, adjusts the collar of your shirt a little bit because it's kind of sticking below the sweater, to bathe in fiery floods, or to reside in thrilling region of thick-ribbed ice, to be imprisoned in the viewless winds, and blown with restless violence. He kind of moves and adjusts your sweater shoulders, round about the pendant world, or to be worse than worst, of those that lawless in certain thought imagine howling, "'Tis too horrible!" The weariest of most loathed worldly life. He takes your hands, or your head in his hands, either side of your face, so that he brings your eyes up to his. The weariest and most loathed worldly life, that age, ache, penury, and imprisonment can lay on nature as a paradise to what we fear of death. Tell me, child of the moon, do you know where that's from?
Out of character, I have no idea where it's from. I don't know if Altair would. He reads books and stuff. I don't know if it's something that he would.
You can make me an academics and intelligence check if you want to.
Okay, I'm pretty good at that. Y'all will soon see that I do not get many references, but my characters are much smarter than me, so.
Even if you don't, it would be pretty on brand for this guy to be hurling some lines at you, and you just be like, you know.
That is 3 successes.
3 successes. You've read this. It's Shakespeare. Definitely Shakespeare. In fact, it's one of Claudio's monologues from Measure for Measure. You can't particularly put what act and scene it is, but it's definitely that.
Great. What did you say it was from Measure for Measure?
Measure for Measure.
Okay. Altair's got his face in this guy's hands, but he's not looking. He's decidedly looking off to the side, and he's like, that's Shakespeare, sir. Measure for Measure.
A student of the bard in our very midst, as I live and breathe. And he kisses a very sloppy, wet kiss on your forehead. I knew you were good. I knew you were good. Though you're not who I was expecting at all. I was expecting dear Aster to be here.
Yeah, he asked me to come instead.
He never comes to our parties anymore. I hope he's doing well.
Yeah, he's great. He's doing great.
Well, I guess you'll just have to do. And on do, he kind of pops your nose with his finger. And he sighs, and he starts walking back around towards the where the rest of the council are. Now, you're probably wondering to yourselves, well, what am I, Madelyn Brooks of Sloss Furnace, doing here? What am I, mysterious man in a leather jacket smelling like the road, being brought into before the council? I just wanted to make my bones, say my piece, give my name, and now I'm before the prince of the city himself. You might be like dear Altair here that's like, oh, I wish I could get out. Please let me out from this prison that I'm in. Or you might be like dear Books here. You look fucking confused.
I
Judging
would
by
say
this,
that that's a fair assessment.
judging by this peanut gallery, I thought you were offering me a babysitting gig.
Not quite. Carson. Yes, Prince. Guy in the Nick Saban costume comes out. This is Carson Collier. He is the Ventru Primogen around these parts. Books, I'm sure somebody will explain to you what a Primogen is at some point. I would, but I have a party I must get back to, and it is dearly in need of a host. You can hear him now, rooting in the halls. And he shudders a little bit. And he goes, and Carson goes, yes, thank you, Prince. Yeah, my name's Carson Collier. I'm a Venture Primogen around these parts. You might have heard in recent news of a hooded man going around terrorizing citizens around town, and everything. Well, the prince and he looks over at the prince, grand vision of unity and peace for around these parts, has decided that he's going to develop a task force of sorts to take care of this menace. This menace is, in fact, not targeting just normal everyday citizens around the town breaching Masquerade, but he's, in fact, targeting kindred. And it's been about a problem around here. Yes, ma'am, I do understand that I'm explaining a little bit too much. You all know this, but please, I gotta get through the notes and everything.
This is also brand new to me. Thank you.
Just to put things short and in detail, there's been a guy going around wearing a hood and a jacket. He's been leaving around graffiti around town. He's been staking kindred around here, either leaving them in torpor or diablerizing them. And then he looks at Books.
Problematic.
That it looks kind of lost at the word diablerized and kindred and the stuff like that. He goes, he's killing vampires. Sorry.
Oh, gosh.
You
Seriously.
I was gonna lean over to Books and go, it's like the real bad kind, like Dementor killing people kind of shit. You'll pick it up.
Silverson stands up from his chair and he goes, what wearied foe creeps in the hallways, knives ever out our backs? It is but for you four that can bring peace upon my bed and my citizenry once again. Yes, what he said. The prince, in his wisdom, has decided, seeing as how we have a unauthorized fledgling, looks at Books, and someone new in town, as well as a couple of others. I'm sorry, Altair, you said your name was?
Yeah.
I was expecting Aster, but I guess it kind of carries over. And of course, Miss Brooks, we know you're reliable. We have
Always.
decided to bring about an offer to you four. For Altair or Aster, a boon for your sire, should that you do it. Well, we'll get into the details later. For Madelyn, of course, a boon. For, what did you say his name was? and you see a woman dressed like Sadako from The Ring kind of walk up and lean over. Aaron Benally? Am I saying that right? Aaron Benally.
Close enough.
And this book's character, freedom to roam among our city streets. I believe that I speak for everybody around here when I say that there are rules that you have to follow, and I'm sure Mr. Aaron here understands it, but since you're new, your very existence is a breach of those rules, and it would be within our purview to remove your head from your shoulders from which you stand. But the prince, in all of his wisdom and graciousness, has offered you clemency. Shit, was clemency the right word? And
yes.
Then,
Yes, it's close.
yeah.
He says it to me.
Yeah, he says that to you.
So literally vampires.
Oh, you're still hung up on that shit.
Oh God, you don't even know what you are. Oh. Fuck.
You hear somebody that has like a Jason Voorhees mask on their knee, and they're wearing a leather jacket and a black shirt and some jeans, short cropped black hair. She says, "Can we please just move this a long way? Come on now."
Hey, you were a neonate once too. Shut the fuck up.
You would know that as Jada Velasco, sheriff.
Yep.
She kind of shoots you a glare.
I know. We were all young and stupid once. Give him his chance to be it.
Silverson goes, "Please, please, please, can we all keep peace around here?"
I do apologize, my darling prince. You know it's my sailor mouth.
He puts his hand on Carson's shoulder. Go ahead. Like Carson here, dear, reliable Carson said, "I'm making you an offer you certainly cannot refuse. You would be very, very well regarded if you were to take it. What I'm asking of you is to gather together, investigate some areas potentially where there might be clues, investigate some persons of interest, and find this, what is he calling himself again?" And then you see the woman dressed like Ghost Left Eye Lopez go, "Tombstone?"
Oh, for fuck's sake. All right.
You hear some chuckling
Really?
amongst them.
Really?
He goes, "Yes, Tombstone."
That's okay.
If
That's
he
a
ain't
thing.
dressed like Doc Holliday, I'm gonna be disappointed as hell.
Took the words out of my mouth.
Carson goes, "Yeah, Tombstone. He's leaving around graffiti that's saying things like, 'Not your city,' or we'll take it back," things like of that nature. And it's like a tomb. It's like an epitaph on a tombstone. There's like an ankh in it. It's all very Masquerade breachy. It's really in everyone's best interest that we take care of this menace before he gets too escalated.
So you have a Sabbat holdover in your city.
Apparently so.
Aaron, at the mention of that, give me a wits and insight roll, please.
Happily.
All of you can do that if you wish.
Okay.
Actually,
Okay.
The one thing Madelyn is not good at. Oh no, never mind. 2
3,
critical. So
Critical.
4.
4, excellent.
1.
1.
Oh yeah. I have a
I
crit
got.
too.
Okay,
I got 6.
5.
Amazing.
6, 5. Okay.
Yeah, 4.
So all of the three of you that are used to vampire terminology and things like that. Books, you're like, fucking Sabbat? What Masquerade? What the fuck is going on here? But with a 5 success, 6, and a 3, was that, Madelyn? Or 2, 3? 3. Oh, 4, actually, because you got a critical. with all of those, you notice that the prince recoils in abject horror at the mention of the word Sabbat. And, like, everybody's kind of looking at him, like, tense. Like, the people that were chuckling are kind of, like, making light of this whole situation on the council. Look at him. And he's like, well, I never. And he holds his hand out and snaps. And you see Gus, the face-painted security guard, walk up and hand a handkerchief to him. And he, like, wipes his mouth and goes, Mr. Benali, I do ask for you to never, in this Elysium, utter that name in my presence ever again.
Not a problem, and my humblest apologies, sir.
My prince, I have a question.
Yes, dear, sweet,
Several.
illuminating Miss Brooks.
Thank you. Always such a doll. For this, at this point, he's barely even a book. He's a notepad. Who has the right of accounting for him?
That's a good question. That is a very good question. A very astute observation.
I swear to God, Silverson.
Heron slowly starts shifting backward. He's like,
Books. Dear, freshly born Books. Could you tell us here, because we are all dying to know, who is your sire?
I don't know what that is. Nor do I know what a prince is, or a primogen, or a boon. Or
Okay,
a
here, buddy, real quick. Jot all this down. Prince, he's your leader now. He's your president. Primogen, they're like your
what does
governors.
he do?
Sire, that's the motherfucker that killed you and made you into this now.
The embrace can be a very violent situation, but it can also be a beautiful thing.
We might as well call it like it is. He's new. Some people don't do well with the flowery words. I'm trying to be kinder, as you so wish it of me.
Dear Books. He starts walking back down towards you and goes, I don't mean you harm. Who made you? Who embraced you? Who drained the blood from your body and gave you their own?
There we go.
If that happened to me, I did not know that it was happening.
Oh, dear heavens.
Oh, God.
Mm.
Where's a Tremere when you need one?
So shameful, so shameful. Gregory kind of goes, Reuters goes, oh, yes! Oh, how could we ever forget? Oh, dear Gregory. Oh, reliable Gregory. My sword and my shield, with who I would not need any help if it was not for you. I would be lost like a boat at sea in the middle of a storm. Yes, Gregory. He is Books. Gregory is a dear friend of mine. He is the seneschal as well as I guess
Seneschal's like vice president.
Thank you, Madelyn. He's also what would you say, a local community leader for those of us that have a special connection to the blood, that use it for certain rituals and cardiovascular magic tricks.
He does blood magic. It's fine.
Gregory steps forward. He's wearing like a Jack Skellington. He's a dark-skinned man, bald head, but he's got like this Jack Skellington face paint. He's got a beard. It's a whole thing. You can tell that he's not very excited to be here, especially in costume. You do notice that there is somebody standing nearby the door that's wearing a matching Sally costume, but she's been keeping quiet this whole time. And he goes, yes, like it says, my name is Gregory Reuters. I'm the seneschal of the Kingdom of Birmingham, as well as the regent of the House of the Pine here. and Birmingham as well.
That's like their Hogwarts. Just go with it.
Going with a lot right now.
That's okay. I'll explain it to you when you're older.
Dear Gregory here, and then the prince kind of like reaches out a hand and to like try to like put a hand on him, but he's not nearby, and then Gregory like steps his way up and he goes, "Oh, thank you. Dear Gregory here could potentially help you seek who you find, who made you this way.
I mean,
But we
we ain't
don't
gotta
have
find
that.
him. I just gotta know who's fucking taking responsibility for him.
Well, dear Madelyn, they say,
I
have
mean,
you ever...
I'm a grown man. I'm good.
You hear
I'll explain it to you later. Somebody's got to answer for when you fuck up, and I gotta know who it is because I have a feeling it's about to be me.
No. I would never put... That is much too much of a burden to put a child on a single mother. Books, have you heard of the phrase, the old adage, it takes a village?
Oh no, that's
I'm
worse.
familiar.
I'm trying an experiment here. We all understand that the Masquerade and the tenets and everything like that, they date back over 1,000 years. Well, some of them do.
We got like the 10 Commandments of how not to fuck around.
13 Commandments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you. He goes, he moves closer to you and he goes, instead of putting the burden of having one of these lovely kindred, and he looks over at Altair and smiles and waves at Altair, and then looks back over you and goes, we're going to try this whole it takes a village thing, and we're going to spread the burden evenly upon these... Well, Altair, I do love that you're here. I love the sweater. I love everything. It's great. Are you doing... Is this like a comic strip character? Is this like a Dagwood thing?
No,
Archie, are you doing the Archie comics?
I-
Jughead, you've lost your crown.
No, I actually just didn't dress up at all.
We have to get you a costume at some point.
No, that's okay. It's
Oh, no.
fine, really.
I will cover for it. Consider it a gift. No, it won't be the boon or anything. Never you mind. Are you here as yourself, or are you here as Aster? Did I not ask for Aster?
No,
You did, sir.
You did. He wanted me to come instead.
Fuck it. All right. Altair.
It's only disrespectful if he's not good.
That's true. That's very true. Altair. Aaron. Miss Brooks.
Yes.
It would do me the greatest of pleasures for you each to take this sweet, succulent, looks over back at books, baby bird underneath your wings and teach him our ways.
I just like sighed to Madelyn. I was like, I don't get to say no, do I?
Fucking don't.
It would be my absolute pleasure to.
It's an honor, sir. Thank you for trusting us with such an important task.
Yes, I'll do my best.
That makes me so happy. You have no idea how happy that makes me. Oh dear, this is such a wonderful day. We've brought a family together here in this very roof building. But I would be remiss to not give you a choice in this matter, Books. I would not be a benevolent prince whatsoever. Now, I'm going to ask you to think about this. And think about it like it's the most important thing. And he moves close to you and he kind of like adjusts some lint that's on your shoulder and like kind of creases down your shirt and everything like that and goes, it's very important that you think about this. Do you wish to be taken under the wing of these three and brought into the fold of our little community? Think hard. Your unlife could depend on it.
I solemnly promise to treat you like a grown-ass man.
I don't.
I can't speak for him.
Well, I guess I'll think on it.
That's all I ask for. To think about something. You know, there's too many people nowadays, he looks at the council and goes, that just make decisions off the cuff without thinking or deliberating. It happens all the time here. We have to talk. Do not turn your back towards the audience. You're upstaging yourself, Alexander. He turns and goes, you four. Books. I would love for you to think about this, but please do let me know by the end of the night. But until then, I have some business I have to conduct with my associates, and they look ever so bored, and they look a little bit peckish. Oh, my dear, you look so peckish. Oh, my goodness. You should all sample some of the variety of flavors that we have here. I hear that we have barbecue and Tuscan grill and all of that sorts of what you would think. Just sup a little bit from the juice, the delight, the nectar that is provided from you, from all of the drunken delinquents downstairs. Take the night, enjoy yourself. Everything is on the house. From my home to yours. Each of you are like my children. And I care for thee. And I only hope for you to enjoy yourselves and care for yourselves. And he touches Altair's cheek, like lovingly, just like randomly. Like looking at Madelyn, touching Altair's cheek.
You are ever so giving, my prince. We can only all aspire to have your level of charity.
Charity? No. Merely duty.
Oh.
Now, please, go away before I can't take... The sight of each of you is much too beautiful, and I fear that I might burst into a billowing pillar of smoke and flames if I'm before you for much too longer.
All right, let's get this school bus on the road. Let's go.
Fuck. All right.
Okay.
I would like to lead them to a kind of side VIP area where we can talk freely, but we are very much away from the council.
Perfect. Books. Make me a dexterity athletics check here real quick.
What?
Dexterity
Yikes.
athletics.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Why am I bad at everything? Holy shit.
Can't just say that.
That is one. I only have two, and it's one success and then a skull on the red one.
Oof. Oof, 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 oof. Books. You're kind of like, your head's kind of like swimming with all the stuff that you're learning and being thrown at you and everything like that. You just wanted to go out and maybe, have a good time, kiss on somebody a little bit, maybe, who knows? Like, it's Halloween. Have a good time. And instead, you're being dragged into this place with these people. There was a guy with a guitar here earlier. Like, you don't know what the fuck is going on. All these people are just, like, you feel like you're very overwhelmed. And somebody bumps into you as you're walking out of the double doors, and you react like, just like in a very like instinctual manner, and you're not used to acting like this. You're usually calm and level-headed, and you just shove them. And the woman that was wearing the Sally costume, The Nightmare Before Christmas, bumped into you accidentally, and you shoved her into the wall, and you have put your hand up like this in a very threatening gesture, and it's like you don't even realize it's happening. And you hear from behind you, it's almost kind of like muffled in tunnel vision, and she seems terrified.
Can I move quickly to grab his hand?
Same.
Yeah.
And I stand there and watch.
You hear? Go ahead. Are you gonna resist them grabbing you, Books?
I'm not trying to like pull his hand, just
Yeah.
put my hand on his.
Yeah.
Hey. It's a stressful night. I understand.
Oh,
You hear a voice from behind you. It's Gregory. Goes,
sorry.
would be in your best interest to unhand my child right now.
Hey, Gregory, it's a mistake. This poor thing is trying to process a lot right now.
We will
And I think-
educate.
I think we need to give him a little bit more of a breathing room than we normally would. Don't you agree?
The woman that you have up against the wall is kind of like wide-eyed, shocked.
Darling, I'm so sorry.
And she
you
goes,
know-
it was my fault. I apologize. You dropped this.
And I just kind of like,
It's okay.
as I regain my composure.
She hands you a wallet, Books, and she goes, you dropped this. I'm sorry.
Is it mine?
It's definitely not your wallet.
I don't think this is mine.
No, I definitely saw it fall out of your pocket.
I'm going to just reach out and take it from her if he doesn't.
It's
I'm
okay.
probably hesitating, so you would probably get it before me.
Yeah, if he's still like, and then I'll be like, I'll just take it. I'll be like, thank you. It's much appreciated. We will educate.
So my bad. It's
No.
stressful day.
It's okay. It's okay.
Hey,
I understand.
stress all around, no harm, no foul. All right? All right, peaches and cream. It's fine.
She adjusts her glasses and she goes, I understand. I know exactly where you're coming from. I'm sorry. And she like kind of moves past.
Is Gregory hanging back or did he walk with her?
Gregory like kind of moves in between the two of them and he's like walking backwards and he's kind of doing that whole, he's not doing this, but he's doing the whole, I've got my eyes on you right now with Books.
Gregory, free ghost tour tickets if we just forget about this. How's that?
I've got
You know
business
you
to
love
take care
it.
of. I've got business to take care of.
Okay.
Alrighty, let's vacate quickly, children.
We should go. Yes, we should go.
You all four make your way to a side room from the VIP area that you walked into. There's a lot of private rooms up here. It's a Kindred VIP area. A lot of private rooms. And it's got a table in the middle of it. As you all sit down, somebody wearing a high collared Mandarin cut style suit walks in and goes, "Can I get any of you anything?"
No, we're good. I would just like 20 minutes of uninterrupted peace.
I guess we're good. We're
Understood.
good. Thanks.
I shall make sure that no one disturbs you.
Thank you so much. You're a daisy.
Bows and then closes the door behind you.
All right. Hello,
Hi.
Books. Aaron, what the fuck is your
Yeah.
deal?
Let's circle back around to me, shall we?
Oh, that tells me everything I need to know. Thank you. Altair, I didn't expect to see you out.
This isn't really my scene, really, but you know,
Baby's first
after-
adventure. Got it.
Sure. I
Well, you
guess.
look fantastic, doll.
Oh, I don't think so, but that's very nice of you to say.
All right, Books. You're a vampire. Vampires are real. Congratulations. You're never gonna get older, but you can still die. Those people in that room can absolutely make sure of it.
Yeah.
You are now also in an antiquated as fuck society. But that means that we'll be taking care of you now because we are assigned to.
Aaron
You're a
takes his
grown-ass
jacket off.
man, but you're a baby here.
Aaron takes his jacket off. He's got a shoulder holster with a handgun in it. And he goes, "Fuck, this is Elysium, isn't it?"
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Elysium.
He
Put it the
pulls the
fuck
gun
away.
out and puts it in the pocket of his jacket. He's like, "I forgot. God damn it. Fuck. All right.
This
Also,
is a
both
perfect time.
Elysium means nobody's gonna hurt you here,
Yeah, no weapons, etc.
so you can feel safe.
This is a perfect time for each of you to go around and describe what your character looks like, because it's the first time that each of you have been in a room together, alone, where there's no extrasensory things happening. You can still hear the muffled. It seems like there's been a transition from house music to, is that like a metal a little bit? No. It's a metal cover of some post-punk song. There we go. Yes. But you can kind of hear that in the muffled background, but it's a very calm room. But yeah, let's start with let's go from what we see on the stream here, books. Why don't you go ahead and describe how books looks?
Books is like a tall 6'1" average build guy. He's got dreads, bit neater than my own dreads, but he's got long dreads like I do. He is currently wearing black t-shirt. He's got a couple of chains on, wearing loose fitting camo shorts and like high top sneakers. And yeah, that's about it. That's what he looks like.
Excellent. Altair?
Yeah, Altair stands at just a little under 6 feet. He's very pale. I mean, even you could tell before he was embraced, he was very pale. He's got these gold eyes, the messy kind of black hair. Very much like nerd librarian chic. Not even chic, just nerd and librarian. He's got the sweater and the collared shirt. He wears khakis and like brown like dress not dress shoes, but like nice shoes. He doesn't wear sneakers. And he always carries himself very nervously. He rarely makes eye contact with people. You can see him kind of stick his hands in his pockets, or like he's like wringing his hands in front of himself. Like he does not exude confidence. That's for sure.
Madelyn. You're muted, dear.
Madelyn is about 5'5", noticeably smaller than everybody else. She has cracked black veins growing from her eyes and mouth. The rest of her skin is heavily caked up with the best makeup she possibly can. She has a UAB Chargers cheerleading uniform that's very crisp, but clearly about 5 years past due. And if you pay close enough attention, her hair is clearly a wig, but a nicer quality one to look realistic.
And Aaron.
Well, Aaron is 5'10", 5'11". He looks like he's in his late 20s, you'd have to guess. But his weathered features, he looks like he spent a lot of time in the sun as a mortal. He still has a fairly darker complexion for a white boy, just from having a deep tan before he was embraced. But he has bright blue eyes, and very dark moppish hair, kind of similar cut to mine, but a little more full. Short on the sides, left long on top. He's wearing black jeans, but basically what I'm wearing, like a Henley, and his leather jacket, kind of calf height leather boots, looks like motorcycle riding boots. He's good looking, but in kind of a forgettable way. Like he looks like a Chris or a one of those type of guys. Well built, not too big, not too skinny, kind of forgettable.
Excellent. Take it away.
All right. There's a
this
whole
is,
bunch of there's a whole bunch of fancy fucking words they're gonna throw at you. Don't worry about it. You'll
Yeah,
pick it.
that shit's easy.
This is the stupidest shit ever.
Yep.
Yup.
It's gonna get stupider. I promise.
I guess the sad thing is that it kind of adds up, though.
Yeah.
Do
It's
you?
kind of like putting all the pieces together on a really shitty puzzle.
Yeah. Do you not remember anything really?
I remember that it would be hard to survive what happened to me. And then I remember being alive after. And that's kind of it. I don't remember what happened in between.
I'm sorry that you went through that.
Thank you.
That's pretty much how it goes. Everybody here's got some tragic ass reason that we are the way that we are. It's a rare story when somebody gets gifted this, if you can even call it a fucking gift.
Yeah, I think it's pretty whack.
Altair decidedly looks away when you say that.
She knows. But I guess now we get to play NCIS Birmingham. Find some fucking killer.
You know, that part doesn't bother me.
Wait, so I have to do this? Like, what if I don't want to?
You
Yeah.
very much have
No.
to do this. Now, the reward that he promised you, it's called a boon. That pretty much means...
No. We didn't get promised that.
Oh, that was just me.
You
Oh.
and
And
baby
me.
Cinnamon Bun over here.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, boons essentially mean that you get whatever you want when you ask for it.
Mm.
And you get like vouchers.
You and I, on the other hand, we are unknown entities to the establishment here. So what we get is permission to exist in this city, essentially. They decided that they didn't want us to have that, they would have probably just killed us over on that rooftop.
It's a really cutthroat society and it's not any fun, but
Sounds like an understatement.
Yeah.
there are some good parts to it. I mean, think about it this way. You're going to get to see the future if you behave.
On that note, behavior. Let's touch on that briefly, shall we?
Yeah,
that
don't
whole
copy me.
thing about us being responsible for you means if you don't behave, they kill you and then potentially also kill us, or kill us and then give you a second chance, which I like even less. So
Sorry about what happened out there. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like that, but it's usually doesn't happen like around people.
Do you get really angry in like a punchy way? Or do you get angry in like a bad dog kind of way?
I guess between those two, probably the second one.
It gives me an idea of what we're working with here.
yeah, same.
You newbie boy.
Yeah.
Aaron. What the fuck are you?
This tier. Not from here. That
wasn't what I asked.
I know.
You fucking look at me and think I got any right to judge what you are. I have to know what I'm working with.
I'm not just on the chopping block because I'm new.
That means you're one of two things.
Caitiff.
I respect that more.
That said,
At least I know you can't bomb my house in the daytime.
I've worked for the cam for quite some time.
Good.
he means The Camarilla.
Yeah.
Altair like whispers over to Bugs.
Yes, that. Sorry, Camarilla. That's the government.
That's all of this.
the bigwigs, the president and vice president and governors and all that shit.
But why can't they talk normal like y'all? Why they
Because
sound...
some of them are as old as fucking time, and you know what? I'm probably still going to be saying yeet when I'm 150. So sometimes it's just how it goes, and then especially when it's the way that the government is built, you just kind of stick with the words, and it's easier to humor the old people.
Wait, so that Prince guy, how old would you say?
Oh shit, if I know, probably old as hell.
Yeah, probably. Well, let me put it this way: how old do you think I am?
20s, 30s.
Nah, son. I was alive in the 70s.
Ooh.
Altair notices how that doesn't really give a very good description of how old he really is, but doesn't say anything.
Okay, I mean, that is no stranger than anything else that has been said today.
It's only gonna get stranger, I promise. And I'm sorry. I know I'm a bitch, but I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I truly am sorry.
I think you're wonderful.
I'm sorry you had to wake up to all this. I woke up in a trunk with no fucking clue what happened to me. Screaming, starving, feeling the warmth of the sun on the outside of the car.
That is frighteningly similar to what happened to me.
Oh, you poor
So
kids.
trust me when I say I'm sorry. Can you at least trust that we're going to take care of you?
It seems like that's my only option at the moment.
I mean, you can choose to not trust us, run out of here on your own, and just live on the lam for the next century. It's always
I wouldn't
an option.
recommend it.
Yeah, it's not recommended, but it's always an option. You ain't never trapped.
Well, I will keep that in mind, but I will.
And that Sabat word he said, don't ever repeat that. They're essentially terrorists.
It's a little more nuanced
It's
than that.
the easy way to describe it, Kadif.
Okay. Terrorists. Got it.
So,
what's your deal? Aaron looks at Altair.
Oh, what do you mean?
Go on, Altair. Answer the man.
Well, what exactly do you want to know?
Where you? She's Chatty Cathy. What about you?
I just like to listen. She's got things mostly covered.
Don't be modest, dear. Tell him all about yourself.
There's not really much to know. You heard that Aster is my sire. We are both Malkavians. And that's really it.
All right. What the fuck is going on in this city?
Serial killer, apparently.
Serial diablerist, apparently.
Oh, I fear for my mortal soul.
Is this like on the news for like mortals as well, like this serial killer guy?
There's been wanted posters put up everywhere.
Okay.
That's just like, don't travel alone, stay in groups.
Okay.
That there's been a guy going around. Birmingham police has been saying, the mayor's even come out and said, it's like, we're doing everything that we can to track down this so-called hooded man. He's been going around. They're not getting the details, though. There's somebody running interference because they're reporting that he's like mugging people and like breaking into places, and then like he's also been known to kill some people who didn't give him what they wanted. But from what it's being told, diablerizing you three that are experiencing this, you know that it's not a little bit of assault and battery at all.
Yeah.
It's a little bit messier than that.
But I probably would have heard about that. Would that ring, like the person that they're talking about, would that sound to me like it's the same thing, or does it sound like completely different?
Sounds about close. I mean,
Okay.
there's some correlating like similarities. The hooded guy attacking people that are running by themselves or walking has a penchant for like joggers apparently, or just those that are like by themselves. It's been around the 5 points area though, not really. It's not exclusive to just 5 points, but it hasn't kind of. There's been no reports in Avondale or like Gate City or Woodlawn or anything like that. It's been mostly downtown and then 5 points south.
I think Altair's gonna kind of like lean over to Books and just kind of do a quick explanation. You see, Diablerie is when a kindred they kill another kindred and then drain them and kind of consume their being, and it's really bad. So that's why we have to catch this guy, I guess.
Well,
I just
clearly.
want to confirm that you said consume their being.
Yes.
Yeah, like their
I wasn't kidding when I said dementor.
essence. Like, I don't want to
Okay.
say their soul, but kind of like that.
I mean, I feel like saying soul would probably be more reasonable.
Amongst our kind, it's probably the most grievous sin you can commit. But it's also
I'm new and it sounds pretty bad to me.
addictive. And you get a lot of power from it.
I would ask if you were speaking from experience, but you're still a caitiff, so no. That's the other thing to explain, dear Books.
Yeah. He is Malkavian. That is his clan.
It's like Hogwarts houses.
She is a Nosferatu, I presume.
What the fuck else would I be? Yes, and we're all ugly as homemade sin, so...
To varying degrees. We're gonna take a stab in the dark and say you're a gangrel, which we can cover in more detail later if you'd like. Caitiff means I don't come from any of your clans. Something is wrong with me. He says that with a lot of disdain in his voice.
He's an orphan.
So I don't get any of the lovely privileges that you do.
Or any of the downsides either.
What you are, dear,
I have
is
my own.
a bloodline. You are a gangrel, as your sire was a gangrel, as anyone else who comes from your bloodline is a gangrel. I highly suggest you at least find one other in this city so that they can answer questions we can't.
We all have, well, you all have unique lineages that some, like our buddy Carson, whatever the fuck his last name was, can probably quote back to the progenitor of kindred vampires, the original. Others probably aren't as sure about it for basically the same reason you're not.
And you have no bloodline? How does that work?
Think of him like a bastard child.
Yeah. I prefer that term, thanks. Yours is more in touch with the animalistic side of being a vampire. Have you watched vampire movies?
Yeah, I've seen a few.
You know the whole myth about like myth about Dracula turning into a wolf or a bat. There you go.
That's you.
That's me.
Amongst other
Can I do that?
wonderful tricks. Maybe
Eventually, if
if
you
someone
train
shows you
up,
how.
you and I have a few things in common. I have some wonderful pet rats that I can show you how I help them and how they help me, and you can do the same if you work on it.
That kind of makes sense. I have a cat, and I
Cats.
swear that it understands me now. Before, it never did anything I said.
That's just a cat.
Accurate.
Aaron, I'm guessing you would prefer if we didn't go telling everyone about you.
Yeah.
And Altair kind of like looks at books as he says that.
Yeah, books to let you know, caitiffs are not very...
Well received
There we
amongst
go.
polite kindred society. The reason I am in the same boat as you of I have to earn my right to be here is because frankly the establishment is terrified of caitiffs and our ilk because we scare them because we're different. And
I identify with that.
As with any society.
yeah, and they how do I
They
put
want
this
to purge
politely?
anyone who's different.
And they want to make examples usually. The takeaway here is really that they don't like to let kindred like me exist. I've been working with various groups for a long time to make sure that I can stay around, to put it politely. So that's why I'm here, to earn a little bit of that status back. Let me put it that way.
And to put it honest, Books, you have come to a good group. You'll come to find out all three of us come from clans that are very disliked. My clan is only liked because we provide a service.
Well, aren't we a band of misfits?
And almost on that note, you hear a on the door.
Has it been 20 minutes already?
Hold on a second. Aaron holsters the handgun and puts his jacket back on
Noted.
to cover it.
Can I come in?
Absolutely.
The door opens and you see wearing khaki shorts and a polo that has an Alabama A on it, and a pair of headphones. You see Carson Collier. He goes, I didn't mean to interrupt your conversation or anything. I hope you're enjoying
And
yourself.
yet it didn't stop you.
Well, I wouldn't be around here, but the prince wanted to tell me to let you all know that they're about to have the costume contest, and he would be ever so gracious if you were all to join him on the balcony. It's his favorite part of the evening.
But we don't get to enter?
He kind of looks over the four of you and goes,
What?
I mean,
You don't like my costume? You haven't seen Near Dark? And he smiles full fangs.
oh, yeah, no, I don't really like movies.
All
It's a
right.
shame. It's a shame. All right. Yep, that's fine, I guess.
Yeah,
Sure,
no,
let's go.
excellent. Thank you. And he kind of walks out. Just kind of like, he's like, thanks. Just like walks out.
Ugh, it's a spot on Nick Saban. It's disgusting.
Do you four go out to the
We
balcony?
Yeah, we shouldn't keep him waiting.
Alistair.
Al-
Hang back
Altair,
with me for
but-
Altair. Hang back with me for a moment.
Sure. That's fine.
Okay. Go on, boys. We'll join you.
I guess I'll go back out.
Yeah, I'll walk with you.
You two make your way towards the balcony.
Mm-hmm.
Altair and Madelyn.
All right, now that the riffraff's gone, where the fuck is your sire?
I mean, he is probably back at his Taven. He just said he didn't want to come. So,
Darling. Dearest, darling, little sweet baby boy. Do not lie to me.
I'm not. I honestly am not. He's
If I
not
find
looking at you, of course, but
If I find out you are, it's gonna be a shit day.
if he's up to something, then I don't know what it is, but I don't think that he would do anything like that.
Okay, don't piss your pants. Let's go.
He just follows along.
You both walk out. All four of you make your way to the balcony, where you see the prince has returned to his full Dracula getup.
Mm.
And he turns to you with the sunglasses on. He goes, look at you all. As beautiful as the first day that I saw you. Please, would you be so kind but to join me by the balcony? Books, please. Stand by me. And he makes some room for you all and turns his attention toward the stage. There's a band, local band here, that's pretty popular amongst metal and metalcore fans by the name of Era. They're all wearing post-apocalyptic mummy outfits kind of deal. They're tearing the house down, doing a great job. Everybody's loving them. They finish up their song, and you see Carson, of all people, walk up on stage with a clipboard and everything like that. And the lead singer hands over the microphone. He goes, "All right, how about that? Era!" And the crowd's kind of clapping, cheering, going on. They're kind of oh God, there's a thing happening. We just came here for a nightclub event. There's something happening. That kind of mixture. And he goes, "All right, so it wouldn't be Halloween without a costume contest, and we have quite a few entrants." The prince leans over to you, Books, and goes, "Tell me, have you thought about my proposition?"
I assumed that I would have more time.
Oh, of course. No. I would not want to pressure you anymore. No, let's just enjoy the costume contest. And he puts a grandfatherly pat on your center back and goes just enjoy yourself. Carson is going off and he's saying, "Yeah, so we're gonna have a first and a second and a third place prize. But just to get everybody excited, we're gonna go show off our first place prize. It's a real doozy. Can we go ahead and bring that on down?" And you hear some ropes, some rigging moving, stage rigging moving. And you see something being lowered from the stage. Can you all make a wits and awareness check for me here real quick?
Sure can.
Damn it.
It's one.
1,
Sorry, I dropped 2 dice, but that is 4.
4. it's slow going, pulling the rigging down. Books, you've kind of got a lot on your mind, thinking about this guy that's standing right next to you that you just met that's being very familiar with you, but that could also kill you, apparently. Aaron, you're kind of distracted. You're kind of scaring the crowd and everything. You've got a lot to process, too. I mean, you just wanted to show up and just be like, hey, I'm here, you know. But you're getting roped into all of this. Madelyn, something's off. Altair, you kind of notice it, but also you're just like, why am I having to stand here? Didn't I do what I came here to do? Please let me go.
Yeah.
But Madelyn, you notice there's dripping coming from whatever this prize thing is, and it's off. It just feels bad, and like something in your gut feels bad, and you're the first one to see it as when the rigging comes down, and it seems like it's a platform of some sorts that has like some kind of popular electronic kind of sound set or something on it. You can't tell, but displayed in between the ropes of what's holding this platform that it's on, you see first the gloved hand with scissors on it, or some sort of like knife hand on it, and then the telltale red and green striped sweater. And without the hat, you see this very burned and ghastly looking man with his head kind of lulled back, tongue hanging out. And right where his heart would be, there's been a stake just punctured deep into it.
Can I tell that it's my cousin?
It is most definitely Cousin Laszlo. He seemed to have been zip-tied to the ropes of this rigging and has been torpored.
I'm going to lace my arm around Aaron's since he's the closest to my height. Just going to lean my head kind of against his shoulder to disguise what I'm saying. And just go, this is fucking wrong and we need to be ready to run.
Carson looks back and goes, and people
What
are
is
like,
this?
And then you notice the prince is like, oh God, fuck. And Carson goes, and the crowd's kind of quiet and confused.
My darling prince, what the fuck is this?
And on that,
Immediately look around behind us.
we are going to call our first session right there. I would like to thank you all for joining us this evening. Now, like I said at the top of the show, this is a bi-weekly show, so we will not be back next week. We have something else for you. We have a panel with excellent guests, Carrion Crash Course, Storytelling and Horror Without Borders. I hope to see you there. We will be back the next weekend. I believe that's November 8th at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Before we go, I would like these wonderful people around me, or to my left, stage right, your left, audience left, and I would like for them to go around, starting with Books/Kevin, and introduce yourself, say where we can find you, anything you want to promote, and yeah, we'll go from there.
Yeah. My name is Kevin, also known as T1J. I'm real happy to be a part of this. This is kind of the first time I've done something like this, like a live stream game. So, and this is my first time playing this game. If you couldn't tell.
Welcome to the family.
Welcome to the family.
So yeah. But yeah, I look forward to continuing with the game. You can find me on the internet at the One Janitor on most things, Twitter, Instagram. I also have a YouTube channel called T1J, which you can check it out. I just make video essays about things that are interesting and important to me. And yeah, that's my jam.
All right. Altair / Ashley.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ashley or Aid. You can find me either on the Carrion Comfort Studios Discord or over on the Gehenna Gaming Discord. You can also find me. I play in a game over on Gehenna Gaming Twitch channel on Mondays. We play Monster Hearts 2, and we're starting up again tomorrow, and that's every Monday. So come hang out with me if you want to see more of me playing awkward characters. You can find me on Twitter too, A3E. Sometimes I post things, and sometimes I just post dice. People like dice.
Everyone loves dice.
That's it.
Excellent. Yeah, and we'll be hosting that tomorrow. I'll be very excited to watch that.
Ooh.
I'm very excited for season 2 for me.
Season
I
2
am very
premiere.
excited. Yes, it's season 2. You can find all of season 1 on YouTube over on the Gehenna Gaming YouTube if you want to catch up before tomorrow.
Excellent. And Madelyn or Ellie?
Hi, I am Ellie Collins. I am the storyteller for ATL by Night, a Vampire the Masquerade live play set in Atlanta, Georgia. We are actually having our season finale for season 3 this Tuesday, where our audience has voted on who the new Prince of Atlanta will be. And so we will be revealing who our new prince is on Tuesday. And then on Thursday, we have a vignette featuring Lauren Urban from D&D Beyond. Very excited to have her. And that's pretty much where you can find me on everything. We are ATL by Night on all social media, and you can find me on Twitter at Ellie_A_Collins.
Excellent. Yes. And do check out ATL by Night. You can find all of their episodes, I believe, on YouTube. It's been great for me to watch that and get caught up on that, because I'm hoping maybe there can be some crossover info happening, things that affect...
Oh, I fully expect it.
Ooh, excellent. So definitely check that out on Tuesday and Thursday. And last but certainly not least, Aaron, also known as Ian.
Hi, I'm Ian. I am VP of Strategy for Gehenna Gaming, good friend of Wes's. You can find me online at www.gehennagaming.com or Gehenna Gaming on social media, or over on our Discord as Ian or Ravenos, because I claimed that very, very early on in the age of the internet, because I am also ancient, much like my character now. And coming up, we have Monster Hearts coming up on Monday. We're actually doing a deep dive on Vampire on Tuesday. So when you are finished watching Atlanta by Night, pop over to twitch.tv/Gehenna Gaming and watch Nick and Rick talk about all things Vampire the Masquerade. And then the big thing coming up for me this coming Saturday, is a Halloween night charity stream of Call of Cthulhu, but a bit of a unique take on it. I'm going to be running Escape from, or I don't remember what I named it, but it's based on the podcast The Magnus Archives. So it is a modern Call of Cthulhu game based on the podcast The Magnus Archives, or inspired by it, I should say. And I am being joined by wonderful Ellie here, as well as a good friend Jacob Burgess, Alexander Ward, and Cynthia Marie.
Oh, that is an all-star cast.
Yeah, that's an amazing cast.
Cynthia's amazing.
I'm just
to play
blessed
with,
to have
so
wonderful
I can't
players
wait.
joining me. So make sure you tune in for that. It'll be 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and it's going to be very interesting, I promise. It's a charity stream. We're raising money for the NAACP Legal Defense Fund.
Hell yes. I love that. And as for me, my name is Brother Wes, as you can see below me. You can catch my stream on Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. This upcoming week, Wednesday, we're going to be finishing Control. We're going to be diving into the Foundation DLC and then finishing that up. And then on Saturday, we will not be streaming because I will be taking myself somebody gasp for me, a break. I'm going to be taking a break. It's Halloween. It's my favorite holiday, so I'm going to watch some scary movies. And then I'm going to watch a fantastic charity stream for Call of Cthulhu that night. And then Sunday night at 7 p.m., November 1st, will be Carrion Crash Course with panelist Cynthia Marie, who's having a busy week as well.
Just had her ATL too.
Yeah, you just had her ATL. We're just all like, here, do this.
She's wonderful. So.
Oh,
She's a
fantastic.
delight.
Fantastic. And then as well as DJ Toreador, Gabriel de Los Angeles, and Shane Easton will be joining me, and I am looking very much forward to speaking with them and having them all kind of school me on storytelling and horror within different cultures and how it's affected you growing up, things like that. It's going to be a really good conversation. Be sure to join us over in the Discord. It's brand new. There's people in it. We're talking all the time. We're playing games. We're having a good time with each other. I think there was a meme dump last night, so I've got to go sort through all of that and do the quick look over for that.
There are a lot of good memes from this game that just happened.
Yeah.
So
you can discuss this show and other shows that you might be into there. Check out Gehenna Gaming. Check out ATL by Night. Check out T1J, the one janitor, on YouTube. You can find us on YouTube as well, Carrion Cover Studios. That's where you'll find all the archives of all our streams. As well, I would like to say thank you to these lovely people for going on this ride with me. I would like to thank all of you for watching, for subscribing, for gifting subscriptions, for following, all of that good stuff. We are 2 followers away from a 24-hour charity stream. Keep that in mind. So tell your friends if it's something that they might enjoy. I am going to go have a good cry. I am going to also let these fair people go. I'm also going to let all of you go. I hope you have an excellent rest of your evening. I will see you later, and do not forget, comfort comes soon. Thank you all.